Hello, if you're new here, my name is Madison and this is Mads Makeup. If you're not new, then welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on how to achieve a sweat-proof makeup look. We're getting really close to summer, so it's heating up and our makeup starts melting off if it is not applied and set properly. So if you want to see how to achieve a sweat-proof summery makeup look, then just keep watching the video. So when you're going for a more sweat-proof makeup look that you don't want to come sliding off throughout the day, what you want to make sure you do is prep your skin before you even get to the point of applying makeup. So make sure your skin has been properly moisturized as well as put on SPF. That's not necessarily a step for sweat-proof makeup, but if you're going to be in the sun a lot, you want to make sure that you are protected from the sun with plenty of SPF. So once you have those two finished, what you're going to want to get into is a primer. And to have the more sweat-proof kind of makeup, you want to use a water-based primer and foundation duo combo. So to know if a foundation and primer is water-based, when you look up the ingredients, the first ingredient is going to be water, which it's going to be like that for any liquid foundations. So if you want to know if something is, say, silicone-based foundations are going to end in cone or cate. So it's going to be like silicone, silicate, something like that is going to be the second or third ingredient. So that's going to be really high up on the ingredients list. And for an oil-based foundation, it's going to have oil as the second or third ingredient in it. So just to give some examples on what are some water-based foundations, we have the Cover FX Natural Finish, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light Soft Matte Hydra Makeup, Lancome Tint Miracle Foundation, MAC Studio Water Weight Foundation, NYX Total Control Drop Foundation, and honestly you can just look it up to see which ones you're interested in to see if it is water, silicone, oil based. The one I'm going to be using today is the Morphe 2 foundation, and this is a water-based foundation or skin tint, and the primer I'll be using is the Tarte Quench primer. This one is really good. It is a water-based, and so it's going to work well with that foundation. So long ramble over, I'm going to start applying my primer. So I'm going to let that soak into my skin for about a minute, and then I'll be back to start color correcting. So my primer has had time to soak in, so now I'm going to get into color correcting. And for my usual color correctors, I use the Pro Conceal by LA Girl. So I'm going to be taking the green one into any red spots, and then I use the peach one for my under eyes. Now I'm going to be going into the foundation, and when you're doing the foundation for a more sweat-proof makeup, you want it to be a little bit more on the lighter coverage, or you just don't want to go as heavy. I'm going to go in with that Morphe 2 foundation and just put a little bit on each side of my face, and I'm going to start out really light and then I'll build up if there's more coverage I need, but again I'm trying to keep the coverage fairly light so that way I don't sweat the makeup off. Do you have a favorite foundation to wear in the summer? I just discovered this Tarte one a few months back, so I haven't really been able to wear it for a full summer period, but I'm feeling like this is definitely going to be a go-to of mine during the summer months just because it has that lighter coverage, it's water-based, so I think this will definitely be a top pick of mine for the summer. When it goes to having sweat-proof concealer, the best is just less is more, so only apply where you really necessarily need it. If you have a water-based concealer, I would go for that, but I personally don't have that, so I'm going to be using my Nars Radiant Concealer. This concealer is more on the creamy side, less matte, which is why I'm going to go for this. So I'm just going to be applying a little bit of this to my inner corner where I have a lot of that blue and redness, doing a little bit on any acne spots, but try to keep it where you're putting on the face as minimal as possible. And then I'm going to do just a little bit in that outer corner to kind of give a lifted eye effect. So when it comes to the summer months, when you're wanting to apply powder, it's actually better to keep the powder to a minimum. So for powder, I'm going to be taking the Sephora MicroSmooth powder and just applying a little bit of that to my under eyes so I can set them to avoid any creasing. And then if you get more on the oily side, you might want to set a little bit your T-zone area. I'm not going to set anything at all, but if I do kind of feel throughout the day like I need to have a little bit more of a blotting to my skin, instead of going in with a blotting powder, I'm going to take blotting wipes. So this is some blotting papers. These are from NYX, and I'll open them up to show you. They kind of are the same sort of material as a toilet seat cover. So when you go and put this on your skin, go like this. Now I'm going to go in bronze, and for bronzer I'm going to be using the Hoola Glow Bronzer. This one's going to give a nice little bit of a glow to my skin, which is what I like to have in the summer anyways. So, and then I'm going in with a big fluffy brush to contour / bronze the cheeks. So as you can see right there, it's just a nice little subtle bronzy glow. Looks really pretty in the summertime. Just a little bit of that shouldn't cause you to have too much of a slippery, sweaty face, especially because the areas that you are bronzing tend to be in the less oily areas of your skin. Like this part of me doesn't get as oily as something like around here. All right, so I just put a nice little thin layer of the bronzer on. So now we're going to get into highlighter and blush. Both of these products are going to be cream. So for highlighter, I'm going to be taking the LA Girl highlighting stick, and this is in the shade Luminous. I like to just take it on my finger and apply it up in my cheeks like that, and it kind of creates a nice little subtle glow to the skin without looking sparkly or shimmery, and it melts right into the skin, so that way you're not worrying about any layering too much happening. And then for blush, I'm going to be taking the PIXI blush in shade Fleur, and this is also going to be a cream product, and again I'm going to just take it on my finger, apply some of that in the cheek area. We're definitely going with a more pinky kind of summery style look, and then I'm going to take my beauty sponge to ounce that in and get that nice and blended into the skin. And then I like to put some right here across my nose, give it a sun-kissed look. So that's going to be all the tips that I have for the base. Now we're going to get into the brows. When it comes to keeping your brows sweat-proof in the summer, it's better to use a more pencil kind of a product rather than using a powder. Sometimes when you do a powder, when your skin starts to sweat, it might sweat the powder off, but with the pencil, it tends to last longer and sticks more to your skin. I'm going to be using the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil, and I'm not doing very heavy brows because my makeup look is more on the lighter side anyways. I don't want some crazy filled-in blocked brows. Just going to be filling in any spots that I have gaps, really, giving a slight bit of an outline to my brows. And if you're interested, I have a video a few videos back where I do 3 different brow styles. I have a natural brow, which is kind of what I'm going for right now. I've got a fluffy brow, which is a pretty popular one over on TikTok at the moment. And then I have more Instagrammable brows, which you see those kind of all over Instagram, where it's the really filled in, more defined sort of brow style. And then to keep my brows in place so they aren't moving throughout the day, I'm going to be taking the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I'm just going to brush my hairs up so they're not falling down. This will help that if you're wiping your brows or you're just getting like hot and sweaty, you go like this. This will keep your brows secured and in place. When it comes to doing eyeshadow and having that be sweat proof in the summer, I would say that this is kind of the motto of the video, but again, less is more. So I'm going to just take that concealer that I used for my under eyes and use that to just put a little bit on my eyes. I'm doing this right here to kind of carve out my brows at the same time, and just putting a tiny bit. You do not need a lot, and it's better to use a concealer or something that is more water-based versus an oil-based one, because when you get sweaty, it's going to just slip and slide right off the skin. So I'm going to be going in with the Flamingo palette by Violet Voss and taking this orange shade right here and starting to blend that in the lower bit of my crease. I'm going to be going with a more summery, bright vibe of a look, and while it's not going to be super heavy and intense, it'll still give a nice little bit of pop of color, and softly just blending that up into the outer corner up towards the tip of your eyebrow. What is your favorite color to wear for eyeshadow in the summer? I think that mine might be pink or like a light purple. And then I'm going to go into this shade called Sunbathe, and this is a lighter orange, to use that to blend out the orange that I already have. So I've got that all blended in, so I'm going to take some of that darker orange shade and bring that down into my lower lash line, and then take a small blending brush on that lighter orange to just slightly buffer that out. And make sure to connect it to that upper corner so that way it's one seamless blend from top to bottom. And to finish off this eye look, I want to do a little bit of a pop of color, so I'm going to take the shade Bikini from this palette, which is this shimmering purple right here, and on my finger I'm going to just place that towards the inner corner of my lid, and then on a blending brush I'm just going to take that shade Bikini and blend that in with the orange. So this still gives the effect that this is a really colorful, heavy look, but in reality you're really only using 3 shades, and it's pretty light and more likely to last throughout the day. And I'm just slightly bringing that down into my lower lash. So the mascara is on, and to finish up the look I'm going to be doing lips, and I just want to keep the lips nice and natural and juicy, so I'm going to be taking the Fenty Glow, just applying some of that to the lips. And even if you have to reapply, at least it's just a gloss. It's really easy. You don't need even mirror anything to apply it, and just gives a nice juicy glow to the lips. And to make sure that everything stays in place, you're going to want to set it really well, and this will help prevent any of the sweat causing the makeup to come off. So I'm going to be taking the Porefessional Super Setter from Benefit and basically just soaking the skin with this. And it has a really nice mist, so even if you put a lot, it distributes along the face really nice and doesn't leave any little watermarks anywhere. That is going to complete this sweat-proof summery vibe of a look. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. And I hope you all have a safe and wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!